Wisdom of the universe and apply it to personal, professional, and spiritual growth. This program, featuring accomplished practitioners, educators, and authors, is provided by Infinity Foundation, an innovative center for holistic studies and research. We invite you to share this journey with us.
Hello, welcome to InnerQuest. My name is Jay Stone, your host for today, and our guest is Stephen Rosley. Welcome, Stephen.
Nice to be here.
Stephen has been involved with minerals, stones, and crystals for over 18 years. He has done lectures and workshops throughout the United States and South Africa, Australia, and Madagascar. He founded and named the stone called Infinite, the Healer Stone. He operates a crystal and gem store in Lincoln Square, which is in Chicago. Stephen, how did you get started with minerals, stones, and gems?
Well, most of my life I spent in the corporate world, but in 1991 was my year of transformation. During the first 9 months of the year, my father died. I lost the best job I ever had. I went through a really messy divorce while I was taking care of my mother with Alzheimer's. You know, what else could happen? You know, sometimes spirit comes in your life and goes, knock, 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 time to change, and you don't listen. Louder, louder, louder. And finally, this happened. What happened is my father, when he retired, he took up the hobby of lapidary work, cutting and polishing stones, and he and my mom took cargo ships all over the world. So when he died, he left my brother and I over 500 pounds of stones and crystals and jewelry.
You ever think your father guided you into this career?
I do now. I do now. Well, what happened is we both weren't interested because we had been getting bolo ties, we've been getting wind chimes, all these different things that he made that went in the closet. But what happened with me is when my unemployment insurance ran out, I had become accustomed to eating. So I had to find a way to supplement. So I took some of the stones over to the Wheeling Flea Market. And I'll never forget the first day I came back home with $350 in my wallet, not realizing I sold $4,000 worth of stones. And that started me into getting involved in stones and crystals. In '92, I went to Florida trying to figure out what to do. And when I was there, I met a shaman. And I had picked up some crystals called celestials. And this shaman said, these are phenomenal. And all of a sudden, everything started to come together. What was amazing, though, is in the winter of '92, I went around to all the metaphysical stores in Chicago to sell the jewelry that I had started to make. And I went to this one. It was really neat. It was in Lincoln Park. It was a really small store, and this guy lived upstairs in a loft. And so on my way down to Florida, I set out to the universe. When I come back, I would like to find a place like that, where I could live downstairs, open the doors during the week, sell stones, on weekends do my shows. So I came back in April of '93, and I looked in the Monthly Aspectarian, and there, lo and behold, the guy's store that I was wanting was up for sale. So in June of '93, for my 50th birthday, I became a store owner. And everything been moving ever since.
That's a very interesting story. Now, you're wearing a necklace that you made?
Yes.
Should we want to tell the audience what that necklace is about?
The green stone here, which is right over there, if you'd like to pick it up, is a stone called Infinite. This stone is interesting. I went to South Africa about 14 years ago.
You can get a zoom in here.
I was dealing with a company that tumbled stones, and I went there in search of a stone called ahoite. And when I was there, I found this stone called serpentine and chrysotil. I brought it back to Chicago. We had a contest to name it. And I had 45 people who meditated with the stone, got 45 different names, and then I meditated with a name, and I was told to call it Infinite.
Now, you're telling me that you discovered this stone. It was not previously named prior to that?
Prior to that, it was called serpentine and chrysotil, coming from the East Transvaal region of South Africa.
Mm-hmm.
I brought it back to Chicago, and we gave it a name. And ever since then, it's in a lot of metaphysical books as Infinite Stone or Infinite the Healer's Stone.
Yeah. Now, they talk about stones having energetic or healing properties. What is the properties of this stone?
Infinite, what Infinite does is it sends loving, angelic energy to the area that's needed. It works on the source of the problem, not the symptom. You know, in Western medicine, you get a headache, you take an aspirin. What could be causing your headache could be your kidneys not having enough liquid flowing through them. And if you drank water, you wouldn't have to take the aspirin. This is what Infinite does. It goes to the source of the problem, not the symptom. If you've got, for example, a backache, just have the stone on your body, and it will send this loving angelic energy to the area that's needed. The necklace I made is Infinite. This is all Infinite, with the chakra stones. You know about the chakras, that there's 7 energy points on your body. Actually, there are thousands. But it's much easier to remember 7.
Now, and so each color represents a different chakra.
Right.
And are we starting here at the head and working down?
I always start at the base. Your root chakra, which is ruled by either black or red, is basically keeps you grounded, keeps you into the earth energy. Your next chakra, which is orange, is your sacral chakra, which is about 2 inches below your belly button. This is your creative center. Your solar plexus, which is 2 inches above your navel, this is what I like to call, it's kind of like your garbage trap. You know, under the sink where you got that place that catches all the yuck?
Yeah.
That's what this one does. It kind of catches your stress. You know, if you've got ulcers, where are ulcers coming in your body?
Well, stress and anxiety are words that are interchangeable, but nausea, abdominal upset, constipation, diarrhea are all symptoms of stress or anxiety.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. The next one, of course, is your heart chakra. Heart chakra is your love center. It rules. It's ruled by pink or green. Then your throat, communication, third eye, and then crown chakra.
Now, are you going to? You're teaching at Infinity. Are you going to teach people how to make these?
Actually, what we're going to do, I've tried this once before, and it worked beautifully. I'm planning to have 7 stations representing the 7 chakras. And in each station, we will have stones. And the people will come to whatever station they want to start at, and they'll pick a stone, and we'll do like a small meditation.
So, as part of the fee for taking your class, they get to take stones too, make something?
Well, what they're going to do is, I have a thing I call the chakra game. This is another idea I came out with. Because one of the things that was funny, when I was at the flea market initially, I came out with a healing chart, and it was like 10 different stones. And anybody who bought something at the flea market, I would give them the healing chart. And 99 out of 100 people would read the healing chart and says, I need this. You know, it's like amethyst. If you are drawn to amethyst, amethyst encourages inner peace and fights addiction. It's a real good stone if you want to quit smoking or quit chocolate or whatever. I believe is what you're attracted to is what you need. Are there any stones on the table here that kind of jump out at you?
Well, they all jump out at me, to be honest with you. I don't know, maybe this